I saw an interesting quote from Dak Prescott that I wanted to ask you guys about because he was talking about Jerry Jones. And I was just wondering, as somebody who I just had this conversation yesterday with Amin. I was talking to Amin about how I'm like, I don't feel like I'm a very good leader. I don't know how to lead. And he was telling me that it's funny because all he's been around in sports is a bunch of different people who lead. And he asked me the question, have you been led by anyone? Like, do you know how to lead? And I'm like, no, I don't know how to do it. So Jerry Jones leads the Cowboys, and he's led them into a sewer since Jimmy Johnson left. Like, they don't win very much. They're famous and interesting, and the star on the helmet is redundant, but the team's not been terribly excellent. And
weren't you led by Michael Keaton in Spotlight?
Yeah.
That guy seemed like a good leader.
Yeah.
Marty Barron, the former executive editor of the Miami Herald, was a good leader, had no interactions with him. Like, he led the paper well, but I didn't know him very well, and so, like, there was separation. The sports department wasn't where they were paying attention.
What about Greg? Did Greg lead you?
Greg Cody?
Yeah. Mentor.
Greg. Not a good start.
Pope?
I mean, led me. I guess he influenced me. He didn't.
I did to the nearest bar.
He didn't. Yeah, led me toward 12 beers.
Dollaritas.
I think at this point you can only lead yourself.
Wow.
Like
That's
that's
deep.
what I'm doing
It's
right now.
very profound.
But I need to lead others. We've got 45 employees, and so
45.
Yeah, it's a
You
lot.
just hire some more people?
Well, that's
a good number.
That's the solution to everybody. That's the solution to everything: is hire more people.
Not as good as 47.
Dak Prescott said of Jerry Jones, who fancies himself the leader of the Cowboys, and it's a fairly ridiculous leader of the Cowboys in that no other owner is doing that peacocking show on the sidelines and giving press conferences and doing all of that while not winning and consistently saying things to make headlines because, as I told you before, he doesn't care about the headlines. He understands better than anyone that it doesn't matter if you're racist as long as you're the power in the circus. Like, just bring him into the tent, and you can get caught in all sorts of scandals off the field, and it doesn't matter whether it's your team or whether it's you. You're going to get away with everything because you're the power in that league. Dak Prescott said of his boss and the leader of that team, quote, "I mostly stopped listening to things he said to the media a long time ago. It doesn't hold weight with me." And the question I wanted to ask you guys about leadership is when the owner of the team is saying things in public that reporters are always asking the quarterback about, and those things can be insulting or lower his value or be about how he's not as worth as much as he thinks he is, how would you feel as an employee? Would you be able to do what Dak Prescott is doing in his position if your boss was perpetually in public saying things about you and you as the quarterback had to prevent those headlines because you don't want to welcome into your huddle the way that you're arguing over money? Would you be able to do what Dak Prescott is doing when he says, I just don't pay any attention to that stuff? It's all professional wrestling. Jerry Jones does whatever he wants to do.
That's a great question. Chris, what do you think?
You got this.
You see what we did there, Dan?
Why'd you do that?
Pass the ball.
Because the whole thing is like, would you be able to do your job if people told you were always incompetent and you suck at your job in a very public forum? Wow. And I was like, oh.
What a stray.
You just opened my eyes. Thank you for that.
Well, I'm just saying. What now? Now what?
Oh, wow.
Penalty, 5 minutes, ruining comedy.
Ruining comedy. It was a perfect joke. It was a perfect joke.
It was a give and go. Who is getting penalized?
Is this a double minor?
It's a major.
It's a major. He said it was a major.
It's one major, and it's for Amin.
Yeah. That's the right call. Good VAR.
Man, good job, Stripes.
No. I do this under protest.
Okay. Yeah.
Whoa.
What do you mean, no?
Everyone's saying good call in the
protesting.
stands. Even the opposing fans are like, yeah, they got us.
Don't get him misconduct now.
I kind of feel like I got away with one there, though. Because I didn't really help him mean.
I mean, I was confused by
back
it,
a
dude.
dead
I was confused. I was confused. I didn't know where to
wasn't
go.
a dead fish.
It was a good call. It was a good
Oh, he
call.
threw back. Yeah, like, it's like, hey, what do you think? I'm like,
call.
well, I'm not the one that they call incompetent, but I guess I am now because Dan just gave me a 5-minute major and I'm not left yet. So, yeah, under protest.
Okay, duly noted. You strenuously object.
Your
I got
protest has been recorded and
it.
documented.
We'll put it in the file.
Take it up with the league.
Chris Cody, can you give me, please, and thank you for allowing me to have that that preamble that was way too long, and then the answer got no good answer from anybody except a joke that ruined comedy. Appreciate it. Like
I don't want to call Dak a liar. I mean, it's pretty unavoidable, especially the way that he's covered. He just doesn't walk by a television. They talk. If you walk past ESPN1 at this time, there is like a 15% chance they're talking about you. And if the TVs are on NFL Network, there is also like a 10% chance that they're talking about you. Maybe it's gotten a little bit better now that Skip Bayless doesn't have a place to speak into to an audience. But I don't necessarily. I think being skeptical. What else is he going to say?
you wouldn't like it, Mike.
No, I wouldn't.
None of us would.
No, I don't want to work for Jerry Jones. It seems very difficult. And at that position for the marquee franchise in the league, it's very difficult. But what else is he going to say? He has to say that.
He should have given the Minshew quote. Been like Van Gogh only had one ear. I'm only listening to one side of the noise. That's it.
Tony,
I'm not
great
worried
call.
about that.
Tony, great call, because that's a badass response.
The part, though, that to me, and I don't know whether you guys absorb this or care about this, we made a musical for those of you who are watching us on Peacock, and it was something that we were very proud of. And one of the themes of the musical that we believe was better than that musical, made at far less cost than the Mannings just made, is the idea that there is nothing that can stop what tonight and what Sunday are. And the reason Jerry Jones has the power that he does with a franchise that if you look at their record, my guess is that if you look since Jimmy Johnson left, you can surprise me with a couple of franchises that are largely irrelevant that have won more than the Cowboys have and have certainly won more playoff games than the Cowboys have. And the magic of Jerry Jones's power is he's got the most valuable team in the NFL. They're usually not Super Bowl good. They're usually not a playoff winner. And it doesn't matter because he knows it's the circus. And it doesn't matter if you have foul odors at the circus. It doesn't matter if you have elephant at the circus. The circus is the biggest entertainment there is anywhere around money consistently. And he sits atop it, and he doesn't even have to win to do it. It's smoke and mirrors. Like that star on that helmet remains shiny because of the reputation from 30 years ago, and because he keeps it alive with his mouth, and because he keeps going to the sideline, and he thinks he's the reason it's that valuable. And soon he will have a 10-part documentary on Netflix to celebrate how much he hasn't won the last 30 years.
You say that he's not winning. He's definitely winning. He's just not winning on the field in profound ways. But he is winning. In business, that dude won damn near better than any other owner in professional sports. He is the crown jewel of the biggest thing in this country.
Don't you guys think it's fascinating, though, that it doesn't even have to win or be excellent to be that? That Jerry Jones's thing, that the parts are all interchangeable. It doesn't matter whether Dak Prescott is their quarterback or Tony Romo is their quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys quarterback is going to be famous if they win 9 games.
Yeah, but there are marquee franchises in the NFL that fall by the wayside, that had their day, and because they got stopped talking about when the success stopped. We don't stop talking about the Dallas Cowboys ever, and it's in large part due to the guy up top, Jerry Jones. So I do think that he has a huge hand in how the league has been so successful, because under his shadow leadership, it's exponentially grown. When he arrived, it was already one of the biggest things.
You do understand, though, that the way that he does that business while doing that do-si-do thing he did in front of the American flag while a commander's VP of content says that he's a racist.
And anti-gay.
You do realize that that person has made evident to all of us for many years that the coach doesn't matter, like in terms of how he sees the importance of the coach. And in this instance, he's telling us that the quarterback's feelings don't matter either, because that leader is telling you he is the boss at all times because he's the money. I just can't believe he gets to stay that when they never win important games. Like, I thought you had to win some important games in 30 years. Like, go ahead and give them to me. I'll wait. America's most famous team, most powerful team, most money team. I'll wait. I give you 3 decades. Give me all the games you remember that the Cowboys won in the playoffs, because the one I remember is Tony Romo couldn't hold an extra point when he was the holder on an extra point and they lost to Seattle. They've won a couple of memorable games, but not many.
The last time they won a playoff game, what I'm looking at here, was the 1995 Super Bowl. That was the last playoff game they've won.
No, that can't be
got-
right.
they
That
got
can't
one.
be right.
They got
No, Dak's got 2 playoff. Dak has 1 or 2 playoff
I
victories.
think they won one last
They
season.
won.
I mean,
one.
past the divisional playoffs. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
They've
a second.
lost in the
That's
division.
gotta go. That's gotta go.
wait a minute.
You were
No,
trying to
no.
I was doing research.
We've got a major penalty, 5 minutes, derailing.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
12 games of 9-7.
You looked it up and you came to me with 0 playoff
No,
wins.
I was looking up something else, but
Get
12,
out.
12 games, 8 and 8 or under.
Just
I'm
keep
gonna-
talking
I'm gonna
as you
turn-
go.
I'm going to
Out.
turn it off.
Out.